edition of Caregiving 101.
And we are back with Starr Calo-oy. She is back with some Caregiving 101 tips. And so let's go ahead and talk about safety precautions. These are so important. Why?
Well, because you want to make sure, many people who fall, elderly who fall, don't ever recover. They end up going into the hospital, and then it's even if they come back home after rehab, it ends up leading to pneumonia in many cases and other extenuating circumstances, and they end up passing away.
Oh my goodness, so it could actually lead to something
life-threatening.
That is life-threatening. So you've got a list here of some of the safety precautions: rugs, shoes, floor surfaces. Tell us some of those.
Okay. For example, with your rugs, many people, mothers and fathers, they like to spruce up their home and make it look really beautiful. But the #1 reason for falls in a home among the elderly are throw rugs. So we tell everybody, get rid of them. You shouldn't even have any throw rugs if you're going to be caring for your elderly loved one.
Even if you put something that's sort of a non-slip, that'll stick to the floor?
That's a misnomer. That isn't true. Many people fall and end up killing themselves on those things every day.
Right. A loved one can actually break their hip, twist their ankle,
break a leg, break an arm. Breaking a bone is very hard. Because see, at our age right now, Eileen, and I throw myself into your
that's fine.
bracket. At our age, what happens is as soon as we break a bone, well then our body goes to town fighting it, and we've got all the red and blood corpuscles coming out. But as we get older and we age, everything is slowed down. Metabolism slows down. People don't recover as easily. So we have a bunch of tips for people so that they can help prevent this from happening.
Okay, so also shoes, safety precautions with shoes. What do you mean by that?
Okay, well, #1, an ill-fitting shoe is a cause for people to fall as well. If it's too tight, if they're too loose and they flop around. And the most wonderful invention, I tell you, that I love as a mother and a caregiver is Velcro. So easy.
Velcro, okay.
Yes.
All right, so instead of maybe shoelaces.
That's dangerous. The Velcro also helps them stay independent longer, because if they have arthritis or a problem with their hands, and they're sore or they're not able to do it, coordination-wise, well, Velcro's a lot easier. Pick up and fold over. Makes it much easier.
Much easier for them to get in and out of their shoes.
That's
also,
right,
some floor surfaces. Make sure.
Slick. Let's say, for example, you've been watering outside. Many times you forget that if you've got a patio, that cement's going to be wet, and many times we forget to do that. But try to stay aware of where your loved one is walking. Also, hanging plants outside. Do a run through your home at your loved one's height and see what kind of danger might befall them.
And also some other safety hazard measures. I know you mentioned hanging plants.
Yes. Wires.
Wires.
If there's wires laying on the floor, get them out of the way. If there's unused furniture, unnecessary furniture, move it out of the way. Clear the pathway so that your loved one can walk easily. So that you just want to minimize it as much as possible.
And when you say clear the pathway, especially if they're outside, lighting in the pathway, lighting inside the house.
That's right. And also, Eileen, a real good tip is make sure that if you are going to light everything really well, their walkways, don't have the light shining in their face.
Could blind them.
You want to make sure that you have up lights and down lights. Lights that shine down and lights that shine up, recessed lighting, but nice and bright. Night lights, wherever they might walk during the night if they're ambulatory. You're going to want them in the bathroom. You're going to want them in the hallway. Even those little cup lights that are, that you see even outdoors, many times those are nice. They shine up or down and make it much easier for them.
Unfortunately, as we get older, our vision starts to kind of wear, and so we want to make sure that we have...
Where are you?
Exactly. We want to make sure that we at least light up some of
right.
our corners of the house, make sure it's easy for them.
And touch lights.
And touch lights, okay.
And pole lights in their room. Those pole lights, you can shine those. You can kind of move those around to shine upward to where you've got excellent lighting, but you also want to watch the heat, because many times that'll cause a lot of heat to be in the room too.
One last tip, if your loved one falls, what do you say?
Well, #1, the first thing that most people say is they try to do is get them up. Why do people want to do that? Don't move them. Unless they're in water and their head's underwater, don't do that. If they did fall in the water, you want to lift them up and have a dry towel handy. But if they fall down, leave them alone, check them over. If you believe it's a bad fall, call 911 immediately. If you aren't sure if it's a bad fall or not, if it doesn't look like it, many times a broken bone can go undetected, and call your doctor and see what your doctor says.
So seek some help as soon as that
right.
happens. Okay, and all your tips are available on in your books, Caregiving Tips A through Z, 2 different versions there. So to get your copy of the book, call 521-8668 or log on to this website. Do we have an offer this morning?
We do. Free counseling session, an hour, in order to get your home in shape for your loved one.
Okay, and
so call now.
As always, when they're not here at Great Day Sunday, they're always over at KKYX 680 AM every Saturday morning from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thank you so much, Starr.
Okay.